Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate this hearing today. It's very timely and very key from what we hear are the proposals out there. It's important that we do this because I believe the EPA is attempting to seize control of virtually all land use in the United States through this extremely creative interpretation of the law. The EPA views the rule as so expansive that the draft included an exemption for puddles, which has since been removed. Does this mean that the administration now intends to regulate puddles? It certainly appears to be the case. It's especially interesting to see the administration use the Clean Water Act as part of the pretext to expand its jurisdiction, as it routinely ignores this law in its day-to-day activities. We've seen federal agencies, none of whom bothered to show up today, attack activities that are specifically exempted in the Act from regulation, particularly farming activities like maintaining irrigation systems. An example we have in Northern California, a family's effort to shift from ditch irrigation to a more efficient pipe irrigation, which one would think this administration would like and support, water efficiency, all that. This effort was stymied when federal agencies argued that the work would somehow negatively impact the Sacramento River. Never mind that the Sacramento River is 7 miles away from this project. Any possible sediment effect runoff would be collected in a man-made pond that the family has on their property with no outlet from that pond. So there's no connection between these fields and a 7-mile-away river. The family is forced to spend thousands of dollars to fight regulations that don't even exist on this. We've seen the administration splitting hairs to a ridiculous degree when it comes to other exempted agricultural activities, especially plowing fields. It has decided in some cases that plowing to a certain depth is in fact not plowing, despite the fact the tool used for the work is a plow. Mr. Chairman, it's not exaggeration to say that the administration's proposal would insert federal control into land use decisions in virtually all of Northern California and the Central Valley. The proposed Waters of the United States rule would give the federal government control over every tributary of every navigable water and tributaries to those streams, and even unconnected bodies of water which are adjacent to such waters. The administration also claims control over every area of dry land that is subject to inundation under moderate to high flows, which effectively would include the entire Central Valley. Again, a lot of room for interpretation. Subject to inundation under moderate to high flows. What does that even mean? Combine these areas with the riparian areas along every natural or artificial tributary to navigable rivers and their tributaries, which would include every waterway in the Central Valley and certainly most waterways in the Sierra Nevada and Cascade mountain ranges. You'll begin to get a picture of the impact we're talking about. The rule would create federal control of a vast portion of the state, including areas far from any waterway considered to be navigable. There's a word that really needs to be defined or redefined, in my opinion. Navigable. Do Americans truly want the federal government to decide whether they can remodel their home or landscape their backyard? Do Americans want the federal government deciding that some plowing isn't actually plowing? Do Americans want the federal government in the guise of unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats that don't tend to show up in front of the people's elected body to decide that they can't operate a business, maintain roads, clear brush, or simply continue farming the land as they have always done for generations? This is a proposed rule that the people need to weigh in upon. We do need to say no to proposed rules. No can be helpful because they don't enforce the rules, the laws right as it is now. Not consistently, not where people, our landowners that come and complain to me about it, can even tell what they're supposed to do to comply. They don't hear back for months, they can't get definitive answers, and yet this group wants to move forward and regulate to an even wider range than what they have right now. They don't follow their old rules. Mr. Chairman, I don't believe that's what the American people want, so I yield back. Thank you.